Establishment Clause examples we talked about were the commandments and were prayer. What else, though, were the free exercise examples? And let's make sure we're clear on these. Okay, you want to talk about the blue laws. Okay, what was the article dealing with the blue laws? Go ahead, Neil.
Didn't it say that you couldn't do things, like certain things on Sundays?
Yeah.
There were like restrictions on like you could fish on this day, but it was illegal to hunt on that day.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. The blue laws were basically ways that states or communities, maybe is a better way of saying it than entire states, but communities would actually limit some of the things that you could do. A lot of people will say in the Christian faith that Sunday is supposed to be a day of rest, and they would actually make certain activities illegal, and the thought was that they would do it so that if you couldn't do these things, then you had nothing else to do but maybe practice religion, hang around with your family, which would certainly make people maybe a little bit more faithful. At least that was the thought. So they might ban things like hunting, fishing, being able to negotiate prices on cars, being able to buy new rugs versus used rugs, or these kinds of things. And there were silly designations, but the bottom line is that if you were to enforce a blue law, then actually these things would not be allowed. A lot of people argue to establish the Christian faith. They got around it by arguing that actually what it did was it promoted fellowship, and it promoted family, and it promoted a simpler life than actually anything that had to do with religion, although I don't necessarily buy that. Is there a way, we talked about job applications in regard to this, right? How did the job applications work? What do they ask you on a job? Go ahead, Ron.
The days you can work.
Yeah, they'll ask you the days that you can work, and if you check, and how can this be affected based on your job application?
Well, if you, let's say, based on your religion, you want to be able to work on Sunday. A person that's not that religious, that could work on Sundays, will get the job rather than you.
Well, if you check the box, go ahead, Zach.
They can't make you work on Sunday if you check off that you have a religious thing to do on Sunday, or if you were to check it off on the application and then that you don't check it off that you can't work or whatever, and then they come to you and ask you if you can work, and then you say that you can work, they can't make you work.
Okay.
I got this didn't sound better in my head.
Okay, the gist of it is this. If you check the box that says that you can work on Sundays, and then after the fact you come back and say, no, I can't because of religious reasons, they can actually fire you because you lied when you filled out the application, and it's legal to do. If you check, no, I can't work, and then they try and make you work on Sundays, what you'll find is that you can actually win, because at that point they would be, in theory, violating your free exercise rights under the First Amendment. And I think I mentioned to you with Food Lion, I used to stock groceries. They always paid us more on Sundays. They paid more on Sundays, so they didn't force us to work, but by paying us more, I went in there every Sunday because I knew that Sunday was kind of the money day. And did they force me to do it? No. But did they encourage me? Yeah. And was it legal? Absolutely. A lot of big companies will do this on Sundays like that. So the blue laws. The gist of it says is that you're not supposed to work on Sundays. Are they enforced? At this point, no, they're really not enforced anymore. So it's almost like they're not even there. But it might deal with something like alcohol sales. I used to sell liquor in North Carolina. And when I sold liquor, we could sell liquor, I think, from 7 in the morning until